Hello and welcome everyone. Brandon Boyd here with Wake Up Now. Appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon to be on here and hope you can now see my screen. Just want to make sure we got that pulled up. There we go. Got my trainer account up and going. Again, I really appreciate you taking time to be on here. I feel that the next 20 minutes or so are going to be extremely valuable as questions come up while I go over this. Want to make sure that you understand them. You can type it into the question box and I'll answer them at the end. This is session two. Session two of the 15-day sprint, where within 15 days of you joining, you're set up with all the products. We got 5 total sessions. On Monday, we covered TaxBot, and today we're covering the power of Wake Up Now Finance and how to use it. I believe, in my opinion, though it may not be the most sexy, I believe that this is the most powerful product in all of Wake Up Now. I believe it will transform your finances, but only if used. And so what I have is I have a trainer account here that I've logged into. I've done this for the purpose of being able to demonstrate different products without having to show personal information and things like that. But I'm logged in here into the hub, and all you have to do is click on product and finance. And I've got that tab open here. Let me move this out of the way just for a second here. Okay. The nice thing about this particular software, and I've used Quicken and Mint.com and Microsoft Money and all those other kind of products out there. One of the things that I like about Wake Up Now Finance is, in my opinion, it is simpler to use than any other financial management software out there. But the debt piece, which I'm going to show you in just a little bit, is the most valuable piece of the software, and those other softwares do not have it. And so when you get logged in here for the very first time, what it's going to do is kind of take you through a setup wizard, a little tutorial, and it's going to ask you some questions like who do you bank with, and do you have credit cards, do you have student loans and a mortgage, and those kind of things. And one of the questions that people have is, okay, if I put my information into this, is Wake Up Now have access to my personal information? The answer is no. This has level 5 bank security. So basically Intuit, which is used with Chase.com, Wells Fargo, all the major financial institutions, Mint.com, Microsoft Money, they all use that. And so it's username and password protected. So for example, if it asks you for banking information, you actually have to have your online banking. So that's not information that Wake Up Now has. Okay. So let me just take you through this and show you a couple things. The accounts tab. This is what I've done, and this is not my accounts, thank goodness. But this is the average American family in this country. So what it does is it will list their checking account, it lists their savings account. As you can see, for most people, they're one paycheck away from disaster. There is too much month left at the end of the money. And then it has any loans like an auto loan or a student loan, which to me, student loans are the new mortgage. Any credit cards that they might have, a line of credit, and then a mortgage, average around $200,000 in a mortgage. Now, if I ever want to add an account, I can just click right here. And let's say I want to add like a checking. I just click on checking. I can click, Wells Fargo and just click on wellsfargo.com. And again, you got to make sure you have online banking or else it's not going to work. You just put it in manually. You put in your username and password. So if it was John Doe and then John Doe 19, and then you just click add institution, what it's going to do is it will aggregate all the transactions from your online banking right into Wake Up Now Finance, and it will categorize all of the transactions for you. Okay. And so that is the accounts tab. And then the spending tab is pretty simple. And again, the numbers that I put in were from May of last year. And this pie is pretty simple to understand. It has the spending pie. It also has the income pie. But as we look at the spending pie, it just categorizes each one. So for example, if I want to look at auto and transport, all I have to do is just click on it, and it's going to tell me how much went to insurance, how much was the auto payment, how much went to gas, and how much went to service and parts for that particular month. Okay. And then I can just click back to overview. I can also do it where I click on it and I can say, okay, for gas, I want to look at those transactions and make sure they're all lined up. Yep, there we go. That's where I went for the month. And so you just have in that information. Okay, so this is pretty simple. People have seen those, but I think it reveals a lot. For example, if you want to look at food and groceries, I think what people will realize right here validates what I tell people, that about 30% of their spending on food and dining is actually from fast food, which to me is kind of ridiculous. That's a third, which means people are eating out too much. So their waistline is increasing, their bank account is decreasing. And we should have it where there's a little bit more groceries there instead of the fast food. But average American spends a little over $200 a month just in fast food, which is actually pretty substantial. Might be different if you're doing business meetings and things like that, but for most people, that's not the case. Then what it does is it creates budgets based upon your spending behavior for any given month. And so again, I'm going to take this back to May of 2012. Here we go. Okay, so as we have this on now, you'll see here at the top it says total. That means what is actually budgeted. Okay, and a lot of people, they don't even know the budget. They haven't created a budget. And so they will have a $5,224 budget. And then what it will show though is the progress throughout the month of how much was actually spent within that budget. And then it will show what's remaining, which you can see here is negative 170. So they're actually over the budget. If it's in red, it means they went over the budget. If it's in orange, it means they're just right at the budget. And if they're in green, it means they stayed well under the budget. And at any time, I can add a budget here at the left. I can just click on add budget. Um, I can go through any one of these as well. Like I can just click on detail, and I can actually look at the detail transactions, kind of like the spending pie. I can look at the detailed transactions of any one of these accounts. And let's say that I need to add something to it. So under food and dining, I just click this little pencil, and it says $600 groceries, fast food. If I need to put in like another category, I can click on custom categories and just type it in right there and then actually add that. Okay. If I want to delete one, I can do that as well. So this is kind of a nice snapshot that I actually keep up with every 24 hours just to make sure that we're kind of on track. And I'll communicate with my wife if we're getting close on a particular budget just to be careful and those kind of things. And I think what this will do as well is it'll mitigate a lot of the fights that people might have within their relationships so that they're on the same page financially. It's like, why did you go out and buy that pool? Well, because I thought we had enough. When people are communicating and they're doing it in a nice, kind, and loving manner, in my opinion, in my experience, it can sure stop a lot of fights. Okay, so the budget tab, Susie Orman said that if you see just the budget tab, you'll save about 10 to 11% on your spending, which is several $100s a month. Okay, then there's the transaction tab, which I have here. And the nice thing about this tab is it's going to give you throughout the month kind of basically how much money that you spend at whatever place that you went to. It's all categorized. Let's say that there was something that was from Walmart, says right here, $136. Well, you know that maybe not everything there was groceries. Maybe you bought some clothes. So you just click on the little pencil, you click on details, and you can actually split the transaction right here. And you can put in maybe, $10 went to electronics or something like that, and you just put that in there. Okay, so pretty simple to do that, but you just have to get used to using it. Again, like I said, I think it's pretty simple to use. I can also add a manual transaction as well, and it'll show which account it comes out of. Maybe it was a Capital One card, and I can put ink cartridge, and then you put in $5. And then you put it in as an expense, what category, and you just do add transaction. Okay, so pretty simple there. But this piece right here is the most valuable, and myself and Ross Jardine have done a number of webinars that have shown the power of this software. Now, I want you to understand what you're looking at here. If you look at the left, what it's going to do is it's going to list the total debts. And again, this is in America, about $232,500. And it's going to give the debt priority snowball based upon what the software calculates of what's going to get you out of debt the quickest. Okay, you can trust the software that it actually works. In orange, in the middle and right of your screen, it's going to give you your normal payoff, which basically indicates if I keep making minimum payments, I will be at a debt in August of 2038. Not very exciting. Now, that's considering that your car doesn't break down, that a spouse doesn't lose their job, that insurance doesn't go up, that property taxes don't go up, that little Jimmy or Susan doesn't need braces on their teeth. I mean, there's just so many things that can come along, right? It's the unexpected expenses, which seem to be 500 to 1,000 a month, at least in my life. Things that you didn't plan for. But then what it's going to do is in blue or turquoise, give the accelerated payoff, which indicates if you will follow the priority to the left, okay, you will get out of debt without even putting an extra dollar. You continue to make minimum payments. You're going to save $52,000, which is 9.4 years of interest payments. Okay. Now, let's say that we help you and Wake Up Now. You were to just start using what we have without even building the business. We're able to save you $100 a month. Now we're saving you just shy of 11 years and 63, almost $64,000 of interest payments. So now you're out of debt by November 2027. However, if we were able to help you become a founder 3 and still save you the 100, and we put in 700 that you can afford towards debt, I mean, look at that. Now you're saving $100,000 plus you've got 15.2 years of interest savings that you would have to normally pay anyway. Okay. Now Ross Jardine does a great job, and I'm actually going to show you the actual websites. Let me pull this up here, and you can see this when we're done here. But so let's see here. As we go down, Ross Jardine did a great video, and I had posted on here. Him and I had done some stuff together. And yes, here it is. So if you go to wakeupnowf.blogspot.com and you click on okay, here it is, just right at the top. It has finance training program on the right side. And oh, by the way, I'm actually going to fix this real quick because I just had posted this image, but it looks like it's too big. So now you know for sure we are live on a webinar. This is not a recording. Okay, there we go. That matches up a little better. I just done this post, where is your time most valued? And so, okay. So finance training program and how to save big with Wake Up Now, or how to use Wake Up Now finance and finance training program. That'll go over a little bit more detail on this and using the software, how not only you had a debt by 2023, but you actually have cash flow on the way to 2038. Okay. Now let's say that you got in, you started building the business, and the most that you got up to, which would be fantastic, is about founder 4. So let's just round it off and put that you're going to take the extra money, stay working the position you are at your current employment. And so you're going to put in that $3,000 and apply it towards debt, because we're about financial wellness, which is getting people to become financially fit, get out of debt, and get to freedom faster. So you take the extra money that you're earning from your business and you apply it towards your debt. Now you're out of debt in just under 5 years, and you've saved $135,000 in interest payments, 20 years. So you're free. You own your home. You have no credit cards. You have no student loans. You own your cars. You own your kids. You're debt free with positive cash flow by 2018. This is the power of this software. And guys, I can tell you, I printed off a screenshot when I first came here to this company of this for myself, and I said, here's my motivation. And I had it in front of me all the time so that I could have the goal in front of me of exactly what are we working for? How soon do we want to get to where we want to be financially so that we can do some of the things we really enjoy doing? Okay, and so you can actually save this, do a control print screen right on your computer, and you can print it off, and just put it in front of you, because I believe that as you use this software, that it will change your life. One of the things you can do under here under settings and backgrounds is you can actually change the background. Okay, so if I want to have that background now, or maybe one of the ones that I like under settings, and backgrounds. One of the ones that I actually have on my software is this one. Okay. So, and again, accounts, spending, budgets, debts. Under accounts, again, it aggregates all your bank accounts, credit cards. You can have multiple ones on there. Um, what I want to do at this time is let's open it up for questions. Okay. If you have any questions, let's go ahead and type those into the question box there. And then again, I'm going to take you back to wakeupnowf.blogspot.com, which is the training website, where I'm going to have this. I already have this recorded. And so you'll be able to see this both on Facebook and it will be on the blog today as well. I think some people aren't going to know to actually click that image. So let's get that going here. Click image. This is an important screen because I just done a webinar just a little bit ago, and people need to be able to see it live and especially right there on their phones, be able to see it maximized. So everything you need is under training step by step. And going back to, let's go back to the Facebook page under events. And so let's go back here. Okay, so under events, we have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays again. So we've got tomorrow, why pay $99.95 or $24.95 for Wake Up Now, as well as session 3 of the 15-day sprint. I've done a post today, and I think it's important for you to read. It's under Wake Up Now events as well as my Facebook page, where I titled it Critical. And it talks about being a product of the product and how much I believe that you will succeed more if you will use what we have and if you know your business. And I think if you take the time to read that, that'll make a difference for you. So any questions that are out there that I can help answer at this time? Again, I feel this is an extremely valuable product. It's better than Mint.com, Quicken, Microsoft Money. None of them are as simple to use as this, and they don't have the debt piece, which is the most valuable. Again, we're about financial wellness, helping people save on interest, taxes, and spending, helping them to save, manage, and make money. So if there are no other questions, again, this has been recorded. I will post this. Let's see. Looks like we might have one here. Okay. On that particular question, I'm not sure about that answer. Okay. Anyway, again, this is being recorded, and so I'll have this posted both to Facebook and the blog, and I'll also have it in the email newsletter. Appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon. Guys, continue to build the business. This is the greatest thing I've seen in 14 years. There's no company that provides what we provide from a product and service standpoint that pays what we pay. And if you want to see proof of that, watch the webinar that I did today on the recording of Wake Up Now versus other network marketing companies. You can just click right there to watch it. Thanks everyone for being on. Hope you have a great day.